Even 6 years after its much maligned ending, How I Met Your Mother still boasts a strong fan base. The CBS sitcom, which ran from 2005 to 2014, tells a love story in reverse, with protagonist Ted sitting his kids down in the year 2030 to tell them the story of how he met their mother, which takes place in present day. The show not only features the intriguing mystery of the mother's identity, but showcases a heartwarming and hilarious story about friendship and youth, prompting fans to watch the show again and again, even after its conclusion. In these rewatches, many fans have noticed hidden details that were hard to pick up on during the first viewing. These details included clever foreshadowing, funny gags, or weird character quirks, which are blended into the background of various episodes as sort of bonus jokes, which the creators put in to reward fans for paying such close attention. With fans still watching How I Met Your Mother all the time, more and more, these bonus jokes have been discovered. And so I am Kirsten from What Culture, and these are 10 small details that you only notice rewatching How I Met Your Mother. Number 10, the mother's name is in season 1. Despite being the title character of the show, we never actually learn the mother's real name until the final episode, Last Forever Part 2. And no, her name isn't actually the mother. When she and Ted finally met, she points out her initials on the iconic yellow umbrella, TM for Tracy McConnell, to prove that it was actually hers. While this proves that Tracy's name is in fact Tracy, it's not the first time the show tells what she goes by. In the season 1 episode Belly Full of Turkey, Ted, Robin and Barney spend Thanksgiving at a strip club when a stripper notices Ted buying a lap dance for a homeless man. She pulls him aside to thank him for his generosity, introducing herself as Amber. When there are fewer ears around, she says, "Actually, I'm Tracy," as future Ted cuts in to say that this is how he met the mother, much to the kids' horror before revealing he was joking. Still, the kids believe future Ted for a second, so it should have been a major giveaway that the mother's name was Tracy. The joke makes more sense now the second time around, given what it foreshadows. Number 9, sandwich time. The characters move around so much in How I Met Your Mother that at some point in the series, every major character except for Barney has lived in what started out as Ted and Marshall's apartment. By season 4, Marshall had moved out, and it became Ted and Robin's apartment, but by the end of season 7, both Ted and Robin had found new places and it became Marshall and Lily's apartment until the penultimate episode. The apartment has many lively details on its walls across every owner, but one constant yet easy to miss feature makes for a nice joke once you notice it. In every episode, every single clock is set to 4:20, no matter the time of day. Whether this is just a joke between Ted and Marshall that's stuck throughout the series run, or a fun gag by the creators, it's a nice touch to the apartment. Why 4:20? Probably because of the number's connection to, eating a sandwich. Number 8, Conan. From Katy Perry to Britney Spears to Tim Gunn, How I Met Your Mother has an impressive collection of celebrity cameos. However, while most of these cameos drew attention to themselves, one flew under our radar at the time. In season 7, episode No Pressure, Barney darts out of McLaren's, bumping into the patron along the way. The bumped into man looks away from his conversation and into the camera in disgust, revealing himself to be writer and talk show host Conan O'Brien. Unlike all of the other celebrity cameos throughout the show's run, Conan's was never advertised, nor was it a scene-stealing supporting role. Instead, he basically appeared as an extra. The camera never lingers on him for long, nor does he have a single line of dialogue. His appearance in the show is the definition of a bonus joke, a little extra laugh for the fan who pays the most attention. Number 7, The Countdown. The season 6 episode Bad News may be one of the best in the whole series. The title telegraphs that something horrible will happen, so the audience feels on edge throughout this seemingly fun and innocent episode. However, the episode ends with the devastating revelation that Marshall's father has passed away of a heart attack. Eagle-eyed fans noticed that something other than the title felt off-putting about Bad News. Throughout the episode, we see a series of numbers on various objects, including calendars, beer cans, and a high five. When number 1 appears on a taxi cab, Lily comes out in tears to tell Marshall of his father's death. Only then do fans who have been following the numbers realise that they acted as a countdown, from 50 at the episode's start to the final one, leading to the titular Bad News. For anyone trying to rewatch Bad News in order to find the entire countdown, here's a hint. Sometimes 2 numbers will appear back to back, such as Sandy Rivers living in apartment 1413. Number 6. Suck It, Lily. In the Season 2 episode Stuff, Lily asked the gang to go see her off Broadway play, which garnered worse reviews than the series finale. Afterwards, only Barney is honest with her about the quality of the show. When Lily gets upset, saying he only should say nice things about her performance, Barney concocts a plan of revenge, inviting his friends to his intentionally terrible one-man show in hopes Lily can find nothing nice to say about it, proving him right. Barney is honest about his intentions with the play, but a quick look at the programmes confirms it was only ever about revenge. These programmes, only seen in the background, reveal that the show is titled Suck It, Lily. Though easy to miss, the play's title may be the best thing about it, by default. Unfortunately, Marshall slaps Barney in the face before he can finish the performance, but knowing Neil Patrick Harris's status as a Broadway star, we may get to see him put up a completed production of Suck It, Lily. Who among us wouldn't want to hear Harris say moist for 40 minutes straight? Number 5. ZOEY'S necklace. Zoe, one of Ted's many ex-girlfriends, plays a key role throughout Season 6. While she and Ted begin as enemies, fighting over whether Goliath National Bank should destroy the old building, the Arcadian, to make way for Ted's new GMB HQ, they eventually become friends, then a couple, and all thanks to Lily. In the episode Blitzgiving, Lily goes over to give Zoe a piece of her mind, but Zoe recognises Lily from her artwork, having purchased some of her paintings online, and the pair become friends, with Lily forgetting about Ted entirely. In a later episode, Zoe wears the same wishbone necklace Lily wore in the show's pilot. Perhaps Zoe bought the necklace off of Lily and Marshall selltheirstuff.com and discovered her artwork from there. Regardless, the necklace is such a nice touch and proves that the prop designer listened to the Season 6 episode Garbage Island's message about recycling. Number 4. Marshall's lunch. The true love story of How I Met Your Mother is neither Ted and Tracy nor Ted and Robin, it's Marshall and food. Marshall expresses his love for all things he can eat countless times during the show, but one instance in Season 3's 10 sessions takes the, cake. While the gang are hanging out at the bar, Ted rhetorically asks if they know what they will want for lunch 10 weeks from that moment. Without missing a beat, Marshall responds Sloppy Joe, shrimp cocktail and a milkshake. By the end of the episode, 10 weeks have passed and Marshall is seen eating a lunch consisting of a Sloppy Joe, a shrimp cocktail and a milkshake. As much as we love Marshmallow and Lilypad, the true best How I Met Your Mother ship remains Marshmallow and Marshmallows. Number 3. Barney and Chopsticks. In the Season 7 episode The Ducky Tie, we learn that Barney has been subtly manipulating Marshall for years in order to win a bet that he hadn't even made yet. Every time Marshall would suggest going out to Shinjitsu, Barney would sneeze, forging the association in Marshall's mind to the point where Marshall would suggest Shinjitsu every time Barney would sneeze. While he emphasized disliking the food at Shinjitsu, Barney secretly taught himself their cooking style, in order to one day bet Marshall that he could perform the signature Shinjitsu tricks, including the shrimp in the pocket. In order to keep up his ruse, Barney has pretended to be unable to use chopsticks since as far back as Season 1. Anytime the gang eat with chopsticks, Barney struggles silently in the background. It seems that, like Barney, the How I Met Your Mother writers were also in on it for the long haul. They wrote in the chopstick gag for the punchline to a joke that they hadn't even written yet. Number 2. N.Y.C. lawyer captures Nessie. Throughout How I Met Your Mother, Marshall has always believed in the supernatural. One mythical creature he particularly loves is the Loch Ness Monster, aka Nessie. He mentions her multiple times throughout the show and agrees to honeymoon in Scotland just to look for her. A flash-forward scene in Season 3's We're Not From Here teases that Marshall and Nessie may have finally crossed paths after all. We see that future Marshall proudly displays a newspaper headline reading "N.Y.C. lawyer captures Nessie" in his office. It's not easy to spot, but a closer look at the final moments of the episode should illuminate the article for you. This implies that after many years of searching, Marshall finally found the mythical Loch Ness Monster. If you want to see more of Marshall's mishaps with Nessie, watch Lily and Marshall's honeymoon, a bonus clip from the show. Number 1. The background couple. In Season 9's The Rehearsal Dinner, Robin suggests getting married in Canada. Just as they do, every time she mentions her home and native land, her friends spend an absurdly long time making fun of the Great White North, often involving mittens, Tim Hortons, and repeating things in French. One hard-to-notice background gag shows just how long a time the gang spend making Canada jokes. If you look closely, you can see that throughout their jokes a man and a woman meet, start dating, propose marriage, celebrate their pregnancy, have a drink with the fully grown graduate son, and then mourn that son in their old age. The creators draw no attention to it, but watching the progression of this couple's life is funnier than any of the gang's Canada jokes, which is exactly the point. How I Met Your Mother is a strange show, since it takes 9 seasons for one couple to meet, but another couple's entire life flies by in less than a minute. And there we go, the small details that you only notice after rewatching How I Met Your Mother for the God knows how many millionth time. But let's admit it, you are going to go do this now. If you are, leave us a comment down below and let us know if there's any other gags that you spotted in the background. If you did like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, click that subscribe button. But for now, I have been Kirsten Ria from What Culture, and I will see you in the next video.